Okay, hello everybody. This is Ariel. We are here with the art community. I am your creator, founder. Today I am here with my teammate, Chris Rice.
Yes.
He is an artist, photographer, DP, audio. He does everything. Writer.
Yeah. Some of everything.
Some of everything. And he is a team member. He's on board with the art community. And we're having a conversation today with Mr. Jeff Sprov.
Yes.
Yes.
There you
Got
go.
the
Yeah. Listen. You better go.
Jeff is a rising, brilliant actor, and we're going to be having a nice conversation with him today. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm well. Thank you so much for having me. To you
Yeah,
both.
thank
I'm
you.
very, very grateful and happy to be here.
We're going to dive into some questions. First, I want you to tell the people a little bit about yourself, and maybe if you can name, maybe like a few of your favorite works, shows, plays that you have been a part of. Let us know what you've been doing.
Absolutely. So I am an actor. I am a screenwriter. I'm also a voiceover artist. I do voiceover work. Originally from Queens, New York. Grew up in Jamaica. Moved here to Atlanta with my mother in 2006. I was 15 at the time, and at that time, that's when I had decided I wanted to officially be an actor. And that's really how the journey started. 16, 17 years later, here we are. And it's been an incredible journey. Lots of learning, lots of growing, process, all of that, trusting, patience, everything necessary to, get where you want to be and in the pursuit of what you're pursuing. But I've, what have I been in? It's I did recently Stranger Things season 4, a couple episodes there. I did.
Tell them your character.
Yes, so I played Officer Glenn Daniels in season 4 of Stranger Things. He pretty much worked with Officer Powell and Officer Callahan. That was played by Rob Morgan and John Paul Reynolds. They've been on the show since season 1, so I'm pretty much just working with their team and just trying to, figure out what's happening in Hawkins. More Stranger Things are going on, so it was an incredible opportunity to be a part of that. And I've been in Tom Swift. That was a show on CW. I did The Passage on Fox with Sanaa Sidney and Mark-Paul Gosselaar, and I did a movie for TV One called Media. I also did another film with where I had the honor of working with Liam Neeson and Tony Goldwyn and Diane Lane. That movie was Mark Felt, the Man Who Brought Down the White House, where I played an FBI agent. And it's been
You've been working.
Hey, listen,
You're on your way to the top.
I've been just trying to stay busy,
Yeah.
It's been great.
That's incredible.
I want to add, I know you're a big fan of sci-fi, and Matrix is one of your favorite movies. Can you describe the feeling?
Man.
Can you describe the feeling of being on Stranger Things, being a sci-fi series? Like, describe that feeling for me.
It was pretty surreal, man. Like it was like, oh man, am I really here right now? Like, because I've been watching the show since season 1 when it came out, and I immediately was just in it. Just everything about it. The horror aspect, the science fiction aspect. Very Steven Spielberg and Stephen King and all that. Just very classical. And coming onto that set, it was just like. We're in Hawkins. Like, oh man, there's Dustin, there's Lucas. Oh my God, you're all right here.
You're in the upside down.
Yeah, absolutely. So, seeing The Matrix and knowing it and it being my favorite film of all time, and then coming on to this project, I had the honor of experiencing my first visual effects process. So they come up to me and okay, we're gonna put these dots on your face. I'm like, y'all do whatever y'all need to do. But to experience that and just that whole process, then to actually see it, because I was so curious of what it was gonna look like. So to see it, it was like, wow, that's
Yeah, I went into uproar that scene when you were talking to, I think, Nancy in the car, and like you turned into like a monster,
Yeah.
in that I was like, oh my God, it's Jeff. But
that
it was incredible.
Yeah, that
It
was
was good. It was
Fred.
really, really nice to see that from you. If I didn't say this, but me and Jeff went to Georgia State together. We had classes together. So, and we've worked. I actually stage managed a play that he starred in. Good Night, Desdemona. Good Morning, Juliet.
That's right. Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
that was incredible. So tell everybody what interests you in even starting like with acting, pursuing that professionally, like really wanting to do that. Of all the things we can do in the world, why did you want to be an actor?
Well, it's crazy because at first I had already started doing acting. Like my mother, she kept me, just as, you know, we're growing up in Jamaica, Queens, my mother kept me very grounded in the church. Yeah. So, you know,
I was going to get to the Easter plays. I was an usher. I was in the choir.
You were usher too?
Yeah,
Nice.
all that usher, choir, all that. Only thing I wasn't a part of was the praise team, which sometimes I go back and wish I could have done. But I know you spoke about planting seeds.
Yeah.
And it didn't allow me to want to pursue acting, but you know, sometimes when you allow your children to step outside their comfort zone, like to me, it probably helped me as I got older, being comfortable talking in front of people, you know. So I'm big on what you said about planting seeds, and yeah.
Absolutely. And my mother, you know, every time she's asked, you know, like, did you know he wanted to be an actor? My mother, she always said she didn't know she was planting a seed, that seed, because every Christmas and Easter I was in Sunday school, and we would do recitations, and it would be a passage that we would choose. And of course, I'm trying to choose the shortest one, you know, in and out. You know what I'm saying? So, but we had to stand like on the podium, and you know, there was a spotlight, and we would just recite the recitation in front of the congregation audience. And I just remember my mother. I'm in my room chilling, you know, video games or something. She will pull me out of my room, put me in the living room, put a tablespoon in my hand, that was the mic, and say, recite your recitation. And I would just say it over and over and over. And that was getting the memorization. You know, what are you saying? And that's really, you know, just where it started.
That's
and
beautiful.
Yeah, and I just, and I just remember, like that was just a part of that upbringing. So
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing when parents, they see something in you, even if they don't really know how far it's gonna go, but they see it and they encourage you, and they make, you know, they push you to really like grow in your talent. Like you said, she was planting a seed that she probably didn't even realize that it was gonna blossom, you know, this much. And so it's important, like it's a beautiful thing when you just have parents that really hone in on that.
I'm very blessed to have, you know, both of my parents, my mother and my father, who have been supporting me on this journey until this day. So it's truly a blessing.
So tell us, when you're stepping into your role, whichever genre or character, how do you prepare? Like what's your method, what's your technique that helps you prepare for your roles?
Absolutely. So for me, I don't really have a specific technique that I use. I mean, I've studied under different techniques, but I kind of just pull from each of those and what works for me, and kind of just develop my own sort of way of, you know, getting into the character and into the story. But of course, the first thing I do is first I get out of my own head, because you know, when booking roles, it's like, okay, is this happening? Is this coincidence? Oh man, is the audition that good? You know, so it's shedding that and just really opening myself up to be an open vessel to this character, so that this character can now come in and live through me. And then after that, once I go through that process, it's of course understanding the story, reading the script, understanding my character and the other characters. What are the characters saying when my character is not in the room? How's my character interacting with all these other different characters? So it's just a lot of questions and things, and understanding the setting, the time zone, especially if it's an historical piece.
Yeah.
Because I believe a good script, everything in a good script is not arbitrary. Everything is placed in that script for a specific reason. So understanding that, and then, just really just making those connections. What connects Jeff to this character? Empathy, personalization, and substitutions. And it's just all becomes, it's like putting together a puzzle. This piece works here, this piece works here, and then making those choices, but those choices have to be justified by the script. If I can't find somewhere in the script that honors that choice, then it may not be the best choice. So that's just building and seeing what fits and what works, and just it's almost like you're a kid in the sandbox playing with all these different things and seeing what works, what builds, what stands, and what sticks. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So within that, what has been the best criticism or feedback that you have gotten about your performance that has allow you to take that in, receive that criticism to build on top of your craft?
I mean, that's how I grow, just all kinds of constructive criticism and feedback. And I can't really think of the best one that I received, but I think, there's always an opportunity to learn and grow. I will always be a student. I will always, be open to, just different ideas and things to try. So, there's always, with every role that I play, there's always something to learn on every project that I'm in.
What is something that you've learned? Like, I know you say you can't think of the best criticism, but maybe if there's anything that you did learn, like even if it's just one thing that you have learned.
Absolutely. Get out of your head.
Get out
Relax.
of your head.
Relax. You are here for a reason.
Yeah.
I've learned a long time ago. I think I was doing a masterclass during lockdown with Shonda Rhimes. She said something so profound, and I pretty much carried it with me. But she said, whatever room you walk into, you belong in that room. If you feel like you don't belong, act like you belong. So, and that's something I've really carried with myself, So, because it's easy to get in your head and, hear that I am my worst critic.
Yeah.
I am a perfectionist, and it's easy to get in your head and hear that little voice in your head saying, "Really?
Right?
Do you think this is really for you? Do you think it's going to work?" But it really comes down to, yes, I hear you, acknowledge it, but this is what I choose to believe, and this is I choose to believe in my best self. This is who I am, and that's taking my power back and everything. So
Yeah.
So.
I want to add, I know you kind of spoke about it, but how you stay resilient in spite of all the no's. Like, even, I know for me, like, even just hearing no's from all applications, like just gigs and stuff like that, or I moved on, I chose somebody different. Like, I know for me, I'm just like, I'd rather create my own because I'm sick of people telling me no. You're not supposed to get everything, but sometimes you just feel like, when I'm gonna get a break. So how do you stay resilient in spite of all the no's?
There's a number of things. I think one is having that strong support group, having that tribe. I'm blessed to have my family. I'm blessed to have, friends who believe in me and supported me, and reps who believe and support me as well. But it's that, and just really understanding that what's for you is for you, and, those doors that God opens, nobody can shut. Yeah, really, what is for you is for you. And so, just having, I think it's also daily practices. For me, my daily practices is exercising. It's affirmations. I have a place in my room where I have posters on my wall with affirmations. In my therapeutic journey, I understand them as my seeds of truth that I plant in my mind that take root down into my heart. And, it's a daily thing because you have to cultivate those seeds. And I read them over and over and over. And that just really just helps me in my process, especially during rejections. And also, it also is good inspiration, I feel, to create your own stuff. Actors, I agree. Actors do,
Yeah, that's a
write and produce your own stuff,
Yeah.
really. And
Absolutely.
that's what I'm doing now as well. So, yeah.
Well, let's dive into that. I know in the introduction you mentioned not only that you're an actor, but you're a writer in getting into directing and everything. Elaborate on that for us. What is your goal? How are you doing that? How are you making that happen? What steps are you taking to get there?
Yeah, so far I've written short films, I've written plays, I've a lot of different collaborations and different steps that I'm taking to in my writing process. And I'm currently working on a television series and working on different variety of different films. And
Because you have a production company.
yeah,
Yeah.
Imprint Studios. Yep, with the legendary Key Travis Squire, my business partner and a great friend of mine. We collab a lot as well, and my other good friend Michael Finn. We collab on things as well. We're actually working on a short film right now, which ties into the theme of mental health and the importance of it.
Yeah.
Which is something that's very, very special that we're looking forward to. Bringing to everyone. So
Yeah. So what stories is mental health a part of, like, stories that you want to tell? What other stories do you want to tell in the projects that you're producing?
Oh man, just whatever inspires me. If it's something that I see or read or whatever it is, I feel like my way of speaking is through my art. So I know there's one story I'm working on which talks about the challenges of grief and loneliness, and of course with science fiction, with what I'm working on, it's a story of unity and coming together and fighting against oppression and all different things. So yeah, it's a lot, anything that I can kind of draw from that affects me. It's like, let me pull up this final draft real quick and see, or maybe a Google document and just make notes or whatever that is. So
Or Chat GPT.
oh man,
ChatGPT.
So we was talking before we got started. Have you heard of it? Have you heard about Chat or any other AI service that kind of helps with writing?
I've heard of AI services, probably not that in particular. I know there's one on Snapchat now. It's like an AI bot or something, and you literally can ask it anything, and it talks to you like it's a real person.
That's great.
Okay, so ChatGPT is not like that. It
Okay.
doesn't
Yeah.
talk to you. But I will say, because I know I've been doing some of my writing, and it's been hard, keeping up with everything that's going on with work and building the art community. I will say, actually, one of my friends, Avery, she wrote an article about the writer strike and AI and, the future of the industry moving forward with AI. And when she was telling me about it, she was telling me, she used it in a way, getting an understanding of it in order to speak on it in the article. And when she was explaining it to me as far as this particular program, I will say it has a lot of pros. I think the problem with the world that we live in, the society that we live in, especially in these United States of America, that is all about capitalism, okay, and profiting, and the rich getting richer and the poor staying poor. With like a lot of things, I think it can be used in a bad way. But I definitely think it has a lot of good when you are a writer and you're in, let's say you have several projects that you're writing on, and you need to organize your thoughts. I think that ChatGPT allows you to be more efficient, and it's not writing for you. At least it shouldn't. I have seen videos, like TikTok videos, of people telling you like how you can write a book in 3 months that may take you normally 3 years to write using the AI, but I really don't think that it should do that. Like, I really don't believe that. Now, if you are saying like you want to get a description, or you want to dive deep into your character analysis and you want to really, really, really break it down, I do think that it can help you be more proficient. But I don't think that it is a tool that that they should be trying to not pay people more. It's not. Right. It's like, I mean, it's like any software. If you're using Final Draft to write, you're not getting paid less because you're using Final Draft and you're not sitting there, you know, doing the layout yourself. You know, so if anything, I mean, pay these people more so we can get back to work.
Please,
you know, it's not that thing. Like, it is not that deep of a software that is sitting here writing scripts for you. Because one thing that Avery did mention in her article was that, yes, it has a lot of benefits, but it does not take away from, you know, human creativity and experience.
Yeah, you gotta have that.
And all of that. So it's like, if I'm asking, you know, when you generate a question into the ChatGPT, you can feed it, like, I think when I was breaking down one of my character analysis, I fed it like a full paragraph, like several sentences about my character. And I just asked it to go in depth for me. And it created a whole in-depth character analysis. Now, from that, I can pull out, yes, actually, that's what it is. That's what it's not. Put it to the side. And now when I sit down and actually write a chapter, I have that information there, but it's not writing my chapter for me, you know?
Right.
It just helps you build that foundation.
Yeah.
And you take that and just take it from there.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely think that it has some good benefits, and I wish that they would get on with it so we can get back to work. But
let's all get back to work.
Yes. And speaking of getting that, like, how has this impacted you? Like, how has this writer strike impacted you in this, you know, the potential of the actor strike? How is that affecting
strike
you?
authorization, you know? For me, of course, you know, it hasn't been a lot of auditions. You know, auditions have come here and there, you know, compared to past pilot seasons. For me, the way I've been looking at it, it kind of reminds me a little bit of in 2020 when everything was in lockdown mode. We were all in. And, you know, I think for a lot of people, especially I know for me, you know, while we were in, a lot of us were going within ourselves, you know, self-discovery and everything. So that's what I've been doing lately with it. For me, it's been an opportunity for me to focus on other things, focus on writing, focus on mental health, you know, seeing my family and just, and exploring other creative things other than writing, you know, like, right now I'm learning an instrument. So, so there's that, you know, learning another language. So it's just, you know, having that free time instead of having 4 auditions a week, you know, you're done with one audition, you got to go right to the next one.
Right.
You know, using that free time to go into other directions and try other things, and you know.
Yeah, you talked about that in the article about stillness, and I'm from the South of Alabama, so my mother has a lot of sayings. So one thing my mother always told me growing up: if you don't want to be still, God will force you to be still.
You know.
You know. So with that being said, like you know, for real. So like, I get what you're saying, because sometimes I say this all the time. Like, even being a freelancer is like, even though you have slow periods, use that to focus on the bigger picture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, because you always gonna be running. Like, you'll be chasing money forever, but focus on the bigger picture. Like, write your story, share your story, do something creative, learn a new instrument. I don't care what that is. Just get out the realm of what you're doing. Just focus on the bigger picture. You know, whether it's go see your family, whether it's learning a new language, whatever that is, do something different. Because like money, you can chase that forever. Like, you know, it comes and goes, but God will force you to be still no matter what that is. So sometimes you got, like my mother said, sit your ass down.
Absolutely, no, definitely. Yeah. And you know, it's of course when you're in pursuit of something, when you're in pursuit of your goals and dreams, and we all have those. I mean, yes, absolutely, you have to continue to work and be proactive and be, you know, and put action to your words. Absolutely, 1,000%. But it is okay to be still. It's okay to hit pause and stop. It's okay to rest.
Yes.
Social media. You know what I'm saying?
I rest too much. You let somebody else tell. I rest too much on social.
Look, you know,
Right.
because it's like, you know, if you rest, someone's gonna take your stuff and do. I'm like, no.
What's for you is for you.
Exactly. And it's okay to just stop and realign, reposition,
Absolutely.
refocus, everything.
Yeah.
You know, so
And when you are resting and you're having those moments where you have time to focus on other things, you never know how those skills that you're developing will benefit you for like your next role. Like you might need to know how to play an instrument for a role in the future. You might need to know a language for a character in the future. So, I mean, learning skills, one thing that I was shadowing a truck costumer one day on set of a show that I was working on. I didn't get a chance to do too much because it was a lot happening. But one thing that she told me, and I've just been thinking about how I can apply that to everything, is make yourself indispensable.
Round of applause. You're round of applause. That's a fact.
Make yourself indispensable. Like, because one thing about it, you're going to have fans, you're going to have people that love you, but you're going to have people that hate you for no reason at all other than you're great and it makes them uncomfortable. But no matter what, you have made yourself so indispensable that you keep getting hired. You keep getting roles, you keep getting opportunities, like doors keep opening for you because you know what she say, know your shit. You know what you're doing. And no matter what they say, they can't say you don't know what you're doing. So I appreciate any person that that is focusing and building on their craft, but taking opportunities to learn more. Make yourself indispensable.
Exactly. Man, a job used to tell me that all the time. Aside from school, it got me a lot of debt. But one thing my school taught me was like learn how to work the camera, learn how to do audio, learn how to light, then learn various things to go back to what you said earlier. Because if somebody say we don't need your role no more, at least I can be like, okay, I can go do this. You know what I mean? Because we still got to eat. And I guess in sum it all up, never stop learning. You know what that is, and that's been plenty of times. There's something I learned. It may not, I may not apply it right now, but then like fast forward, I'm like, oh, I know why I learned that. I learned that a couple years ago, and now that thing that I learned, it helped propel me for what I'm about to do right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
everything happens for a reason, and you know, to add to being indispensable, be so great that you are undeniable. So.
Man, there's gonna be a lot of. I'm gonna drop some gym sounds in this.
I'm just saying. Next person gonna walk in this.
Quotes. We need to put those on some T-shirts or something.
Oh yeah,
we need to.
That be the sound bites for the Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Next person who walks in this one will be like, "What's something happening?"
Yo. Oh yeah. Oh, I feel the magic. Yeah, I feel inspired.
God is up in here.
And the devil too, cause it's hot. But
It's hot in here. It is hot in here.
But Use your resources. Yeah.
Yeah, use your resources.
It's the episode
Hey,
gonna be called "Use Your Resources."
listen,
Use your resources.
I can't wait. I can't wait I can't wait because it's like enjoy the process.
Oh yeah.
To getting to where you want to be in the future. But I cannot wait to look back on this moment when we make it, because we're going to make it.
Absolutely.
We're going to make it. And I can't wait to look back on this moment where it's like we was up in the library
Sweating.
using this private room for free. To make things happen, to build. And I think that's the most important thing for me with building the art community is, connecting each other, connecting ourselves to each other as artists. It's like we're all in the same boat. We're all trying to make it. We all have ups and downs. And it's important to one, hold each other accountable, encourage each other, support each other. That's how you grow. There's room for all of us. And I think, especially in the industry, I think we would be so much further if we know that there's room for everybody,
Yeah, absolutely.
And I want to highlight all the artists and creatives that I want to highlight everybody. I want everyone to discover and collaborate. And my goal is to put people in a room to work together. You're building your brand, your production company. Let's put each other in a space to collaborate and work.
Absolutely.
And build. That's important. That's important to me.
And you guys have put together a great thing with the arts community and everything. So, it's only up from here. And, thank you for creating a space for artists from everywhere to come together and just collab and talk and create. So thank you for what you're building and putting together.
Yeah. I know for me also, just adding everything to what you said, is like, we hear that term all the time, struggling artists. You know what I mean? And if we can find a way to build a community so that terminology can leave, because I know when I was about to enter doing video production, my mother was skeptical because she didn't know much about it, and I'm pretty she may not heard that term, but like it wasn't something familiar,
Right.
and she didn't want her son to be struggling, So I know your parents was your biggest support system, but was there any reluctancy when you chose to be an actor, like going to the field?
I mean, I was 15 when I officially decided I wanted to be an actor, and I think it kind of took maybe some people by. I don't want to say surprise, because of course I had already been doing it. So some people was like, "Oh yeah, I kind of figured that's what you were gonna do," but I can kind of feel that there was. Okay, this is a tough career choice business. Are you sure? But and of course, I think we all had the "What's your plan B?" question.
Oh man,
But but I've learned that there's only a plan A. So, but I'm grateful to have the support that I've had. So it was just, and there's been times of, maybe I should have did this or that,
Right.
and everything. And, leading up to, before I decided I wanted to be an actor, I was telling everybody I wanted to be a doctor, because I thought that was just a cool thing to say.
Right.
Doctor in the family, sure.
Right.
Sometimes there's a joke I have now where I'm like, should have been a doctor. but I mean, yeah.
Is there anybody, director, writer, actor, anybody significant that you would want to work with?
Oh man.
Who is that person that you are like, I will feel accomplished if I maybe accomplished isn't like the right word, because you're gonna be accomplished anyway.
Absolutely.
But like if
yes.
you had the opportunity, you'll just be like, oh, this is like amazing. Who would that person be?
Jordan Peele.
Okay.
Jordan Peele.
Oh,
okay.
I can
Jordan
see
Peele.
that.
Yeah, yeah. I loved Get Out. Loved Us. I loved Nope.
Nope was great.
Yeah. I don't think people give Nope
It's
as
credit.
much
Yeah.
credit as it deserves. But I like watching his films. I'm like, I want to live in your mind just for a few hours and just see what I can find. You know. I love his style. Love his work. Nolan is also.
Yeah, I saw that. Christopher Nolan. What's your favorite Christopher Nolan film?
That's tough, man. That's so tough. I'm gonna say Inception.
Inception was good.
Inception.
Yeah,
Inception was good.
Yeah.
I also liked Memento. I saw Tenet one time. I gotta.
Yeah.
Was it good? I haven't seen that one.
I gotta watch it then.
I saw it in theaters during lockdown.
Okay.
And I was watching it, and then halfway through the movie, I'm like, I am starving. So
Yeah.
I was getting hungry. I'm like, I gotta go get something. Cause then I come back, and I'm like, okay, where am I? What's happening? Who's
that's
that?
a fact. Yeah.
So, but looking forward to Oppenheimer.
Okay.
Summer. So
Okay.
looking forward to that, and but yeah, Inception. Really.
Inception is amazing.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
I had to watch it a few times
Oh,
to like really get it. I actually also had to Google some articles and read about it and really understand more. But Inception is great. Great movie.
I think one of the things I love most about it is just this. I mean, the concept of everything.
Yeah.
You know, a dream within
In
a
a
dream.
Dream, yeah.
And it goes back to the Matrix as well.
Yes.
So I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Dream world?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yes. And Leonardo, big ups. I like Leonardo.
everyone did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone did such a fantastic job with that film. So, yeah. The ending. Well, I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it. Listen, but the ending is like,
Listen,
oh
at
my
this
god.
point,
Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
It's been out for years.
Yeah, it's been out for years, and you can get your own interpretation at the ending.
Yeah.
'Cause,
You do.
Yeah.
whatever you believe. That one's crazy.
Yeah.
You don't want to go watch it again.
Whole
Yeah.
blog discussion. About
Yeah.
Incredible.
I was about to say, going back to a little bit about what we kind of spoke about, because we know we're all going to grow. But, you know, one of my famous lines that I use now is like, whatever I've been taught as a young man growing up and what success looked like, I take that picture, put it on the ground, grab a blank canvas, and paint my own picture. So for you, what does success look like for you in the world of acting and everything that you're going to do?
Success. What does success look like for me? Working and really making that impact on people. You know, I mean, that's why I'm in this to begin with. You know, this is my way of making an impact on the world, making an impact on people. And so my goal with every role, every project, everything I write, everything I put my mind to, is to affect other people in a positive way. You know, and that's really that is success to me. You know, I honestly, I mean, I don't care about accolades and awards and things. I mean, all that is nice, but I think at the end of the day, it's what you know, what are you giving? What are you putting out there? You know, what impact are you having
Absolutely.
on people and society? You know, success. I think of, you know, guys like the late great Chadwick Boseman and Sidney Poitier and LaFonte and Paul Robeson, and you know, those are my guys. So yeah. But and along with that, success is taking care of yourself, taking care of your mind, taking care of your family. Yeah, that's if I was to put it into a picture of where I want to be, that's it. That's really it. You know.
Dope.
I love that. If you let's see, if you could give any advice to someone that's young or thinking about making a transition to acting and film and writing and directing, what piece of advice would you give to that person?
There's so many things I could say to answer that question. Oh my gosh. 3 things I will share is, One, what's for you is for you. It is your journey. This is your process. Don't worry. Don't focus on what other people are doing. Don't worry about social media. This person's booking this person's booking that, this person's working on this, working on that, starting this. All that is great. And celebrate those people. Celebrate those people when your peers are in their winning seasons, or those people that are in the community. Celebrate them. And then you focus on yourself, and you focus on the kind of person that you want to be and what you want to build and what you want to give to the world. And you focus on building that. Also, find your people. Find your tribe.
Find your people.
Yeah, yeah. Find the people that love and support you on your journey. Find the people that light up every time they see you, and that is on your best day and your worst day. Yeah, and thirdly, I will say, and I think I've touched on this before, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle of things. It's easy to, we all have dreams and goals and things that we're trying to pursue, and you have to be proactive in that. But remember that you also still have a life. Live your life. Especially us in the Black community. I tell us, make sure you get a passport. If you don't have one, get a passport. Travel, travel, go places, visit other countries, experience that culture, eat the food, meet the people, and as I'm saying this, I'm talking to myself.
Right, of course, yeah.
So,
absolutely.
So, these are things that I have to constantly remind myself of as well. And also going back to, it's okay to be still. It's okay to rest. It's okay to hit pause every now and then and realign, reassess yourself, reposition yourself, and and trust the journey, trust the process. I think I've already said that. Yeah.
I want to add to that too, like far as like maintaining. I remember reading the article, you was talking about the slow season. Throughout your years, what time of the year did you feel like is a slow season for actors or like getting work?
What time of the year? A lot of times for me, it's like kind of during the holiday season, because a lot of people are on vacation, everyone's with their families, so although there are some pilots that are filming, so you may get something there, but that time of winter season, falling back, that's, to me, that's sort of that time to, let me hunker down, focus on next year, and what are the things what are the goals that I want to set for myself, and what things do I want to focus on coming up. So I feel like that's just season, and it's summertime is I feel like hit or miss. Pilot season is of course the busiest, but
Okay.
Let's see. We've really touched on a lot of the questions that I had, but I'm always gonna ask every actor, especially ones that I know that have done both theater and film.
Okay.
If money was no object, because I know that there's a significant difference in pay from theater to film. But if you put everything aside, which one would you go for more? Which one is more, has your heart more, theater or film?
That's tough. Because I started in theater, so theater's like home, oof.
Because yes, I feel like the experience is different.
It is.
It
really is. Yeah.
Being on stage is, I feel, and doing live performances has to be a different kind of feeling than being behind the camera.
Absolutely. I will say theater, because it's a very, very different experience, because in a play you're playing a character, and you have to keep the audience engaged that entire time. There is no cut reset.
Right.
That what happens on that stage,
No touch-ups.
that's it.
No makeup touch-ups, no hair touch-ups.
Nothing. And I got stories doing Good Night Desdemona, Good Morning Juliet. So it's like,
Oh, tell me that. Tell me.
oh gosh. So that had to be one of the that play really stretched me as an actor. I'm so appreciative. I loved that whole experience. From we had the fight sequences.
Yes.
We learning how to use a rapier and I mean, in that play, we each actor minus Hannah, because she was the main character, we played different roles. So I was Othello, Tybalt, Professor Knight, and Juliet's nurse.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah, Juliet's nurse. But yeah, learning, doing those quick changes and everything. I mean, gosh, going from Tybalt to Professor Knight.
Right.
Because we did the scene where Tybalt kills Mercutio, and then
Right.
Romeo kills Tybalt. So after doing that fight, I'm sweating a little bit, and Professor Knight wears a turtleneck sweater with a blazer over it.
Wow.
So I'm coming out on stage, just patting down, trying to, and I got sweat coming off my ears, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, the scene was short, but my
Yeah.
God, it was, that was something.
All right, y'all. We had to take a quick intermission. A young man walked by, saw what we were doing, and that's what we're all about: building community. He shot his business shot, and we gonna reach out to him.
Show some love.
But let's pick back up
Attraction.
with where we left off. We were talking about your experience with Good Night Desdemona, Good Morning Juliet. The costume change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, so it was a quick change, I think, from Tybalt to Professor Knight. That was the quickest one. So I got to quickly get out of Tybalt. Knight and stage hands, they're back there helping me and everything, making sure I got everything I need, everything's all right. Okay, I'm out. And you got to, of course, you got to be, you got to come out on cue. So
Yeah.
So doing that, and the fight sequences, and it really it was a stretching there, and it was just very strong support from you, because you were the stage manager.
I was the stage manager.
You were you and Dariel and Jackie and Erica and Hannah. Everyone just did a phenomenal job.
Great.
And Chris Diaz, who was our fight captain, and just staying on top of us, and
Yeah.
it was great.
Yeah. And Frank, big ups to Frank. I
Dr.
always
Miller.
thoroughly enjoy working with Frank.
Absolutely.
If it wasn't for him, I would not have stage managed that play, because my last semester, preparing for graduation, and I hadn't registered for. Actually, I think I was working on a play. I can't remember, but I don't think I had registered for stage management, or I can't remember if it was in the summer or like right before school started, or school had already started and I needed to add a class. I can't remember what it was, but Todd, came to me and was like, Frank wanted me, because that was the last play that he was directing at Georgia State, because he was retiring.
He was retiring, yeah.
And Todd was like, Frank wants you to be the stage manager. And he was like, you have to take, stage management, get an A, and the job is yours. So I was hired to be the stage manager before I graduated.
Wow.
But I had worked on almost every play since I started at Georgia State. Like, since I started, I was the assistant stage manager for almost every play. Almost, not all of them. I can't remember. I didn't do the rose tattoo, but actually, I'm not even sure if I was there. Was I there? I don't know. But
Every year that was.
I did almost every play. Every semester, I was working on a play. And so that last semester before I graduated, Todd was like, job is yours. You got to take the class. Frank wants you. And I was like, and I don't think that had ever happened. I don't think they had ever hired a student, before graduating.
Look at you.
So that was cool. But let me tell you, imposter syndrome was on 1,000. I was anxious. When we were going into Tech Week, I was so nervous. Because
For Goodnight Desmond and Juliet?
yeah, because it was so many cue changes. It was so many cues, lighting and sound cues. So,
and we had a moving stage.
And we had a moving
we had
stage.
a platform.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
because it was different.
it was more than one.
different-
It was more than one moving.
It was more than one.
Because
yeah.
we had the grave, the tombs. We
Cemetery.
had the balcony. We had
classroom.
the classroom. Was there an office? I think there was the office.
Well, that was the office where she was with
yeah.
her and Knight. And,
And so, I will always love theater.
Okay.
yeah.
Money is in film, but if money was no object,
Yeah.
I would be in theater. And the crazy part is, even though I did stage management, I was studying acting. That's what my degree is in, performance. So I know, even more recently, people ask me if I would get into acting. I'm that person, don't hold on. I am that
Come
person,
on now.
when you say you got to get out of your head, I am always in my head. It's hard for me to get out of my head. But if I was don't quote me.
Hey. Speaking.
But if I was to do acting, I would do theater. I probably would not pursue film.
Okay.
That's real. That's real. I tell actors who just want to start out and everything, start in theater. Start in the theater, because you just learn so much, and there's so much, I think, experience and exposure that you get from it, like performing in front of people and in front of a live audience, and experiencing, like I said, being able to carry that character throughout the entirety of this throughout this play, and keeping the audience engaged.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And you still got time. You're young. You still got
Listen,
time. Yo, you can just get out that,
let me write something real quick.
Yeah.
Let me say-
I know we spoke a lot about acting. We do voiceover.
Yeah.
Yeah, so talk about that, and would you be open to do, I'm pretty sure, voice animation? Because honestly, I
I
fell
can
in.
see it. I see it.
I fell
want
in.
it.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. She talks about being on stage. I fell in love with doing voice anything during the pandemic when we had to be still. And I remember years ago planting seeds. I mean, this one lady, I'm a storyteller. So I remember having this day at Cafe Intermezzo over there at Midtown.
place.
Yeah.
I've never been.
What?
I haven't been yet. Okay.
Yeah,
It's on
yeah,
the
nice.
Not yet.
Anyway, I ain't gonna talk. Yo, listen, I ain't gonna share too much of my gems and my places where I be. But I remember being there. I remember sharing a poem, and she was like, "You should share that." And I was just like, "What?" And going back to planting seeds, but years later when we had to be still, and I was just like, I'm gonna do it. Right now I was good. I was getting unemployment just like everybody else. Christmas in the hood, and I was like, what I'm gonna do? So I just started recording the poems, and then I started doing adding sounds and sound effects and all that. And what really made me fall in love with
It's
doing
really good.
what really made me fall in love with it was listen to Will Smith Audible. That Audible is top notch. Wow. Yo, I'm gonna be honest. People told me they read the book. I said, no, you need to listen to the Audible, cause I know he was a man of many talents, but the way he jumped in and out of characters, he got music, he had sound effects. He's a beast. So
check it out.
yeah, you
I've
gotta
heard
check out the
Audible.
Audible. So yeah, that would make me fall in love. I'm like, yo, I would love to do voice animation, like voiceover work. Even back to early on when I remember Regina King doing Boondocks when she was doing Riley and Huey. I'm just like, watch behind the scenes. I'm like, man, she killing it. So talk about like doing voiceover. Yo,
Cree Summers.
Yeah.
Let me
talk about doing voiceover work. Yeah, like tell me about that. Like, how would you want to jump into that and get started? Like everything. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would love to do voice animation. I mean, the first films I saw as a kid were animated films. It was my father who took me to see The Lion King, you know, and my mother who took me to see Toy Story. You know what I'm saying? You know, I grew up with those films, you know, Disney and Pixar. So, yeah, I mean, I would love to do voiceover animation and lately for me it's been more so like commercial stuff and promotions and local stuff too, like with churches, you know, either it's reading scriptures from the Bible or something, you know, so which has been great. So a lot of times it's been I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all can tell, but a lot of times it's been a lot of voice of God stuff, you know, with the church and but it's been great. You know, you got to use what you have, you know. So and James Earl Jones is like the best of the best. Oh yeah,
love
look away.
Yeah.
Love him.
Yeah.
So, oh my God. Yeah. Oh, this is just so good.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
that's
so happy.
Yeah, like
I usually. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut off. I usually use like voices.com. That's a great you know place for voices.com, voice 123. You know, it's just
the Alliance. And Alliance has voice classes too. They have a lot of workshops. I actually wasn't doing a voice acting workshop, but I was doing an acting class at the Alliance, like right before the pandemic, like right before everything shut down. I actually missed my last class because I was sick. And which now looking back, it was like, oh, fuck, like I probably had COVID, but I didn't go to the last class because I just felt so awful. But they do have voice acting classes at the Alliance. They have film acting classes in theater. And they have some writing workshops too. I've
been hearing a lot about Alliance classes. Like I know several people that go there, so maybe that's a sign.
I definitely was thinking about getting back into. I've been trying to get into a lot of classes. Sewing. I've been doing a lot of sewing classes.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
I've been doing sewing classes. I've been doing. I'm trying to do that perfume blending one that you did.
Oh yeah, that's fun. Oh yeah, that's fun.
But you know they have an indie house. They put a new in Midtown, but you can't do the classes there. You still got to go to Alpharetta.
Okay.
But they,
Alpharetta.
It's
far.
Yeah.
What side of town you live on?
I'm in Lithonia.
Oh yeah, those words don't even meet. Those words don't even meet. Yeah, y'all don't even. Like, what?
Lithonia, or you from me say Latonia. Yeah, but this was a good drive. So everything is either 30 minutes or 40 minutes from Atlanta, but depending on traffic, of course.
Of course. Yeah. Well, Jeff, we got to get you on the team some kind of way. I'm build. When I say I'm building a community, I'm about to put everybody to work. I got y'all. We're about to take off.
That.
We're about to take off.
I love it.
Do you have any more? Are we gonna wrap it up here?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you answered my question just by staying resilient and just all about like. I always ask people what success look like to you. I think, and especially in the world of social media, we need to find that for yourself. Not what people say success look like, what that looks like.
And not
to
having
you.
destination anxiety. Not having destination anxiety, and like you said, being true to yourself, understanding your process, and getting out of that imposter syndrome. I know I have it. I had it before we started. I was in here like. Before you walked in, I was telling Chris. I think I texted Chris before he even left the house. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm excited, but I'm nervous. I don't know what I'm doing."
I wasn't. I would say, it's kind of what you said earlier. Like, mean, one thing too, like when you do your research and prepare, like it's
Yeah.
like I felt comfortable watching. Like, okay, hearing your stories about being a church kid, I was excited, you know.
Yeah, man,
The next day, I was
That's
just,
where it started,
yeah, I was
you
like,
know?
I was excited. I'm like, I'm ready to talk, you know. So, but that goes back into me trying to get into voice acting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
but yeah, man, I really enjoyed the conversation, man. Like I said, when Ariel was talking about building a community, that's what we need. I remember I was at a game night and we was talking. I was talking to a friend of mine. So I was like, how your brother doing? Like, cause he's an actor. He said, he doing all right, but that's struggling artist. And I'm like, if I can help as one of my missions to help build a community where it's like people are not so scared to get into the arts and like really have confidence that they can make it and like have support system. That's one of my missions too, outside of my own personal things, because that thing of having that talent can hold you back. Just knowing like, oh man, well, how can I make it? Like, will I be able to survive? How am I gonna eat? And like, of course, there be struggling moments, but there is the beauty of doing what you love, and I'm big on that. While we here, you might as well do what you love.
Exactly.
While you here,
Yeah.
So
Do what you love what you do.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Help build others who are in that same. That's why I say find your tribe. Build together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go it alone if you want to. I mean,
Yeah.
lone wolf it, but you
get
want to
it.
go far. Find your people, build together, and
You go further.
Exactly.
Go further with a good team.
exactly.
Well, thank you for coming, being
Thank you.
our first person that we
Yeah.
sit down with and interview. I'm so grateful. So grateful for both of you.
Thank you.
And I'm so excited for the future, what we are about to accomplish here.
Absolutely.
So
How can people find you and stuff like that?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Mr._Jeff Sprov. That's Mr_Jeff, Jeff, Sprov. That's SPRAUVE. And that's where I am. Yeah. Facebook is currently deactivated, so
it's okay.
Yo, somebody hacked my
Listen,
Facebook. That's not
Facebook is
man.
just, I can't keep up.
Yeah.
We got Instagram. For the art community, our Instagram is under the Golden, TheGoldDen LLC. And you can check us out on our Instagram, and the link will be in the bio for the art community website, where you can where you will find this interview, but you'll also see the online art gallery. We have creative features, we have articles. We're building. There's so much more that's coming, but that's where we're starting. So check us out and join
Yes.
the
please,
membership.
yes. Absolutely.
It's free right now.
It's free right now.
But hey.
But I'm not gonna break anybody's pockets. Like,
Nah.
I want people to know that when it is time to pay for the subscription, it's not gonna break anyone's pockets. It's the money. Of course, we want to. My biggest thing, even I tell Chris all the time, and I've been telling people, they've been telling me, Ariel, you need to chill out. It's okay. Like, we're here, but I'm like, I want to pay people. And I want to be able to use all the resources that I can get to support my people. And so eventually it will not be free. Okay.
But now it's free. So
But for now it's free. So go
Get on
check
it.
us out.
All right. Thank you all for listening. Until next time. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.